Yo, so we just gotta say it, man. The NBA Finals was boring, pretty much. Last night's game was a bit more entertaining because they were both playing so terribly that the game was close. Like the Nuggets was trying to give Miami the game, and Miami just didn't want it. They was playing hot potato with it. No, you take it. I don't want it. You take it. I said I don't want it. But for the most part, that's what made last night's game interesting because when it got down to the wire, it actually ended up being close. That Jimmy Buckets, I ain't gonna call him Jimmy Buckets right now, but that Jimmy Butler stepped up and scored like 13 points in the fourth quarter. But he had disappeared for most of the game. But he scored the 13 to get it close, and they had a chance to win. But he drove to the hole. He threw a turnover away. It just, but as a overall series, besides the one game that Miami took, it just wasn't entertaining. I did a few videos on it. I was trying to stay abreast to it and be up on it, but just for the most part, and that's shout out to the Denver Nuggets, and that's a congratulations to them. This is their first championship in the history of the franchise, so they showed up and showed out. Like, let's make no mistakes about that. Jokic was the final MVP, and they came and handled business throughout this series. I mean, the 1-2 punch of Murray and Jokic was just not possible to stop. I mean, it was possible in some cases, but people didn't take advantage of the times that you could possibly stop them, much like this game last night. The game was there for Miami to take if they would have just showed up and played any type of decent game, but they was turning the ball over. It's like players still ended up with decent stats, I guess, if you look at it. If you look at the numbers, I guess, Butler had 21, 5, and 3, and Bam Adebayo had 20, 1 assist and 12 rebounds. But when you look at the field goal percentage of these guys and how they were shooting, it wasn't add up. As a team, Miami shot 25% from 3. Now, to put this in perspective, Denver shot 18% from 3. But field goals overall, Denver still shot 45%. Miami shot 34%. So you can't win like that. And the game, and to put it in perspective, as good as the Nuggets is, the game was still there for Miami to take. You down by 1, just make a play. Make a play. But they didn't. And surprisingly, that terrible game was the best game out of the series. But it's like, man, as a whole, my cousin was saying they was gonna script it and it was gonna be Lakers versus Celtics. I didn't agree with that. I didn't think they was gonna script it, which they didn't, and it played out how it played out. Denver ended up beating the Lakers. That was unentertaining too. Like, it's just most of these games when you watch, and it's like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that as a Nuggets fan? Because everybody what I know they listen to this what you want us to do? Like, not play to make it entertaining for y'all? Like, no, we gonna smash everybody. But I guess that's just the risk that gets ran when the eighth seed plays his way to the top. And to make it, to be fair, it's like when it happens in college, it can happen so easily because you only have one game to play to beat the top team. And if you are clicking on all cylinders, you can be that eighth seed or whatever and win. Now, granted, you have to win all the way through the tournament, but it's much harder to do in basketball because you got a 7-game series. And you can clearly see they ran out of gas. They were looking like, wow, Miami is really stepping up to the challenge. I had believed that they had stepped up to the challenge. Like, they had just, maybe due through injury or whatever that was going on through the season, maybe we somehow saw them as the wrong team. They ended up the 8th seed, but how they were coming out playing strong and beating people, you just like, okay, I think we may have misevaluated who they are, but it appears we didn't. They were the 8th seed, and they ran out of gas in this series. Skip and Shannon was saying they ran out of gas a little bit before this series. but it just really showed in this series. But overall, to me, it was just not fun to watch. And I had to say that because I know I'll be giving the women's, be giving the WNBA, be giving y'all the flux on here. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be fair. When the fellas is not balling and it ain't coming together, I mean, it's still way more entertaining to watch than anything y'all doing. I'm just gonna say. No, you know how to mess with y'all. But look, I'm just saying, we got to call a spade a spade. I don't know exactly what the ratings were looking like, but I know as far as entertainment value, yeah, Jokic and Murray, they was dominating. But as far as it being a good game, like, it's cool if it's your team. If it's your team that's dominating, you like, yeah, like, you want to see that. But it's much better when you have a game that, oh, this is the Super Bowl. And then, like, the classic Tom Brady Falcons game. Like, by halftime, I think people had just stopped watching the game. Like, people was chilling, talking junk, just not paying attention until you just kept hearing touchdown and field goal and touchdown again. Man, wait, hold on now. And then, like, it's an actual nail biter. They come back, they win again. Like, this is what you want to experience after you've sat and followed the NBA through 82 games. And then the playoff series that everybody playing. And, you know, that's a long season to follow somebody and then get at the end to top everything off. You just hope for a more entertaining series to go down. You know, I was hoping for at least 6 games. And Miami should have definitely won this game to make it go at least 6 games. You know, they served it to you on a platter, man. Like, come on. But they played horribly as well. And we ended up with I guess, entertaining game 5, but it was still a bad game. You know, it just wasn't. I mean, entertaining game 5 that they played badly in, but the series overall is still like 4-1. You know, you just, like, as a fan of, like, I'm not really a huge fan of either team. I just wanted to see them both ball out and both make it an interesting game. And I just think Miami just failed quite a few times. They missed the mark in game 1. I think they could have game 1 stepped up and took game 1 and made it an entertaining series. Like, but a lot of the games that Denver won, it was just like through most of the game, they up by 10. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't as entertaining as it should have been to me. But I'm an amateur at the sports watching, because I didn't follow every little stat line and this, that, and other. But hey, I like talking sports and certain stuff and watching sports when I get the time. But just as a average NBA fan, just gonna say this series, this NBA Finals, felt like a dud to me. This one ain't hit really like that for me. You know, but that's life. You know, everything ain't gonna be as exciting as you want it to be. Everything ain't gonna be a Jordan crossover, game ender moment. Everything ain't gonna be the 3-1 down, LeBron comeback to win. Like, everything ain't gonna be that. So, you know, I guess I've been spoiled by some of these great moments that we had in the NBA. And now, when we end up with average finals or average Super Bowls or stuff where you get blown out, you just be disappointed. Feel like a kid when your ice cream fell on the floor. But with that said, I will still be back next year to hopefully get a more entertaining finals out of y'all, man. But this is your boy Pecan, man. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.